We love spending this time with you. Thank you for listening. If you would like to take your listening experience to the next level, did you know there's a way to do that, J-Bo?
I do.
Yep, you know how you do it. You go to thetjshow.com, you sign up for the TJ Show newsletter, and you get cool things dropped right into your inbox, like the TJ Show's 10 shares. We pick 10 different things, everyone on the team does it, that we think you're going to love. It's not just about our show. This is about like stuff, music we're listening to, whatever it may be.
Like life stuff.
That's just the tip of the iceberg. There's a whole lot more in there. Sign up at thetjshow.com. This is the TJ Show. And look at that, it's Wednesday, June 5th, 2024. Hi, J-Bo.
Hello, TJ.
I walked into a surprise waiting for me today.
What was that?
Well, looks like our Kenny recorded a song.
Yeah, you issued a challenge last week after we played our friend Damien's Tuesday song. You said, Kenny, how about you come up with a Wednesday song? You gave me a week to do it. Here it is a week later.
I'm sure I said that, but I don't remember having that conversation.
It's on the air.
The good
remember
news,
it vaguely.
Yeah, the good news is we have recordings of all this, so
True.
I'm sure you're right, Kenny, and I am very excited about it. It's like I surprised myself.
Yeah, let's hear it. Do you
All
have
right,
it?
so yeah, here we go. This is Kenny's attempt at a Wednesday song. Let's listen together.
Hooray! It's Wednesday, it's Wednesday, it's Wednesday. It's pronounced Wednesday, but spelled like Wednesday. Hooray! It's Wednesday, it's Wednesday, it's Wednesday. And some people like to call it hump day.
Okay.
It's the day right before Thursday and the day right after Tuesday.
It's true.
It's also a show on Netflix starring Jenna Ortega.
Also,
Good
fact.
show. Yeah, good show.
Hooray! It's Wednesday, it's Wednesday, it's Wednesday. And you're listening to the TJ Show. You're listening to the TJ Show. You're listening to the TJ Show.
Yeah! Wow, Kenny. Oh
I
my.
suddenly want pasta and garlic bread.
Me too, J-Bo. Is there an Olive Garden somewhere
And
around
then
here?
cannoli to top it off, for sure.
Yeah. Wow, Kenny, I am impressed with that.
Oh, thanks, man. That was
Very
fun.
nice job. You know, I've said this about Kenny like multiple times as I've gotten to know you better over many years.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say it one more time. You do have a real musical talent.
Thanks, man.
It's an unrealized gift. I don't think you realize how good you are as a singer. Now, it's raw talent, but I'm being serious. You should be in vocal lessons.
Yeah.
Are you at all interested in singing?
I am, and we've had this conversation before, and I'm a procrastinator,
Yeah,
so
what's
I
wrong
haven't
with you?
taken any steps to making that a reality just yet.
There are so many people around us every day, and they're so talented, and they don't realize their gifts, and they're in a job that has like nothing to do with their talents. I mean, I guess this is performance. It's related.
I'm like, what are you telling Kenny to do?
No, I think he is in a creative field, but I think that you've got more creative abilities than you realize, and you have to pour some time into that. Here you're watching 1,000 shows, Kenny. Stop watching some TV shows. Seriously. I need to tell you this as a friend. You need to get into singing lessons and refine this talent that you have.
I was about to say thanks for the encouragement, and then I was like, oh, there's the criticism right afterward.
Well, no,
But you're right.
No, it's not a criticism.
No.
It's somebody telling you have to make some sacrifices because you do have a real talent.
I think feedback is a combination of encouragement and criticism.
Yes. True.
Because if you're always getting encouragement, then there's no truth in what you need to work on.
Right.
And if you're always getting criticism, then there's no hope in what you're good at.
Yes, that's a great way to put it, J-Bo. But I'm serious, Kenny. I hear that, and I think there's something there. And you know what? If you're a music teacher, or maybe you're in a school and you're seeing students, let me know if I'm off on that. Like, I feel like you actually have something going on there. Please reach out to us. You can find us at thetjshow.com or call us at 302-303-1151. I've told Kenny this multiple times. He doesn't listen to me. Maybe he needs to hear from a music teacher. I got to find my music teacher from middle school, Mrs. Donovan. If you're out there, call. I was out to lunch with my kids yesterday. My kids are all under 10. And all of a sudden, we're sitting like on the street outside. It was really nice. And we see this car driving down the street with really loud music on. Windows wide open, and two girls are singing a Taylor Swift song at the top of their lungs.
I was going to say, was that me? Because that was definitely me.
No, they were screaming it. Like to a point where you almost feel bad. It's got to hurt their voice to scream that loud.
It's fun.
And my kids look at them, and they just start cracking up. They think it's the funniest thing. And I sprung a little impromptu interview on them because they've never seen anything like that. They couldn't understand why somebody would be screaming so loud that you couldn't even understand what they were saying. And so here's the interview. It starts with my daughter Charlie, who's 9 years old.
Charlie, what did we just see as we're eating lunch outside?
I mean, listen, hysterical. They love it. They think it's, I mean, no one else was laughing, but they loved it.
There was this lady, a grown-up lady, saying, "Fly high in the sky," in not the greatest singing voice. No offense, lady.
Can I tell you something? Those were actually teenagers.
Oh, that makes sense. They're nuts.
Wait, first she's all down for them, then she finds out they're teenagers and they're nuts.
Yeah. She was not shocked to find that out.
Who's nuts?
Teenagers. Not all teenagers, though.
Now, this is my daughter Willa, who's also all hyped up and loves what she just saw. She's 5.
Go ahead.
When we were at the gas station, we saw teenagers smoking. And yesterday, I'm pretty sure it was yesterday, there was a teenager smoking. Charlie rolled down the windows and said, "Stop smoking." Then she rolled the windows back up.
You hear what my kids are doing? They're out patrolling the neighborhood.
Nice.
They're telling teenagers.
Your kids are little bullies. I love it.
Stop smoking!
Did they listen?
No. They're teenagers. They just said to the other teenager, "This little kid said not to smoke." And then the other one said, "Don't listen to her."
So, I don't know how this has happened, but my daughter, who's 9, seems to be in a war with teenagers, and they're laughing at her.
Well, I'm happy that your daughter Charlie told them not to smoke, because why are you smoking at a gas station?
That is a whole other question that should have come up. I don't know if they realize the danger there. You should probably leave that gas station if you see
like,
anyone
boom.
smoking.
Like what?
Yeah, I always wondered why gas stations sell cigarettes. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Don't even go there.
encourage it.
Right.
They don't listen.
They don't listen.
Yeah, so if you're a teenager, I just want to put a request out there from my kids who are not quite teenagers yet, and they'll get there. Please listen to a 9-year-old. Okay? They have really good advice for you. They want you to stop smoking. It's for your own good. And I guess keep shouting from the streets with the windows open.
Keep playing your music loud. Listen, when I got my first car, my aunt Mildy told me, "Do not blast your speakers in your car. You're gonna blow those things out." And I was like, "There's no way. You can't blow out speakers." Guess what I did? I blew out my speakers in my car. I sure did, because I play my music so loud.
Yeah, at a certain point you cross that threshold and then everything's just distorted.
Right. I had to go get new speakers.
Every song sounds the same.
I know your daughters are budding Swifties. If they love screaming, they're going to love their first Taylor Swift concert.
No,
Hey, I'll take them if you pay for it.
No. No one's going to a Taylor Swift concert.
I'm going.
Everyone's fine. This is the TJ Show. The TJ Show is sponsored by Prize Picks. You want to play daily fantasy sports and it just seems so complicated? Well, what about Prize Picks for daily fantasy sports?
Prize Picks is cool because it's just you picking against stat projections, more or less on 2 to 6 player stats, everything from basketball finals. Keep an eye out for star players for boosted payouts, and you can even use esports to add to your entries now.
Yeah, every Wednesday and Saturday in June, if your esport lineup doesn't win, you'll get your entry fee back. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types are what makes Prize Picks the #1 fantasy sports app. PrizePicks.com. Download the app today and use code TJShow for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code TJShow on Prize Picks for a deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less, it's that easy. Must be present in certain states. Visit PrizePicks.com for restrictions and details. PrizePicks.com. Have I said it enough?
PrizePicks.com.
You got me. This edition of the TJ Show is brought to us by Omaha Steaks. I'm so grateful for Omaha Steaks. They make Father's Day so easy. And dads love steaks. Kenny, does your dad love steaks?
You better believe it, TJ. I love a good ribeye.
One of my favorite memories of my dad is him grilling steaks. So I love it, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to use the word easy, but who doesn't want easy gifts when you just know someone's going to love something? Why not? And we want to show our dads some love, right?
That's right.
My dad would definitely feel loved and does feel loved with steaks.
I have enough tools, all right?
Yeah, right. How many tools does your dad need? He's got them. With Father's Day right around the corner, what do you give the guy who seemingly has everything? An experience he'll never forget. Omaha Steaks. This Father's Day, try Omaha Steaks by going to omahasteaks.com. Use the promo code TJ at checkout for an additional discount when you shop gourmet gift packages for Father's Day. OmahaSteaks.com. Use the promo code TJ for exclusive savings.
I also like to save money.
It's checking off every box. This is the TJ Show. This might be one of the greatest headlines I've seen in a long time. Listen to this. Couple discovers creepy 100-year-old room under jacuzzi. And its shocking secret use. It's like, man, who wrote that?
Right.
How do you not click on that? That is clickbait, Hall of Fame. I'm in. What's going on here? And let me tell you, I am in, and it is worth the read. I'm going to tell you what happened here. A Michigan couple doing home renovations discovered a 20-foot deep tunnel beneath their home. Come on, how do we find tunnels near where we live? Everyone wants to find a mystery tunnel. J-Bo?
I want to find a mystery room and a tunnel. That'd be nice, yes.
Kenny?
Of course.
Camera guy Josh?
Oh, yeah.
Producer Heather?
I actually don't want to find any mystery tunnels anywhere. I'm good.
Oh, come on.
Boo!
You know,
Everybody, boo!
some people lie. I mean, come on. You know you want to find a mystery tunnel. So they live on Lake Huron. They uncovered a water-filled room when removing their old broken jacuzzi in the middle of their house. I guess the lake water is going into their room now, or this room they didn't know existed. They scuba dived in the river and found the other end of the tunnel. And it's a huge tunnel. They said it's totally impossible to get the water out at this point. The dark concrete space mostly empty, except for a support pole and a wood-paneled wall. The couple bought the property in 2020. They later learned that several neighbors also have similar tunnels in their home. This is so cool.
So you're telling me they pulled up an old jacuzzi, they found a whole bunch of water in the secret room, they took it all the way out to the river?
Yeah.
That is amazing.
And multiple houses have this weird thing going on under their homes too. So what is it? A near century ago, Lake Huron and the adjoining St. Clair River became critical waterways that boaters and crime syndicates used to bring in bootleg alcohol from north of the border. So it was a Prohibition era.
Yeah, they did.
And apparently the area was responsible for 75% of Prohibition activity. This is according to experts. The owner said, we're going to keep exploring it, and if possible, we will drain it and maybe create a game room or a bowling alley, Kenny.
Nice.
Down in this area. How cool would that be? I mean, we'd have to go check that out,
That's
right?
super cool.
Like, what are we walking on right now? I know we're in a big building. What is beneath this building?
I'm going to start stomping my feet everywhere I go to try to hear something hollow below me.
I don't know what's going on here, but there's so much to be discovered. I mean, look at this. Nobody knew about this for all these years.
Kenny, if you walked around stomping your feet, people would be like, what is wrong with that guy?
so
I
angry.
say that already.
So
J-Bo.
angry.
Looks like everyone else. Everyone is stomping their feet.
Right.
Is mad about something. Yesterday, we were hearing about a story. It's a little kid who's being called pint-sized Picasso. He's 2 years old. And the parents realize this kid has a talent. He stands in front of a big...
So-called talent.
Well, thank you, Producer Heather. He stands in front of a canvas that's blank, and what's on the other side of it? I happen to agree. I think it's beautiful. And the story is just starting to get more and more traction, and people are seeing him on Instagram. And listen, I've had 3 2-year-olds, right? My kids are all under 10, and I've seen some of the art they do sometimes, and I am impressed. So much so that my daughter, she used these colored pencils to make these flowers, and I couldn't believe this little baby was able to do it. I think she was about 2 or 3 years old. I was so impressed that I brought it to the frame shop. It's actually one of my favorite stories. There was this local frame shop when we lived in Cambridge, Massachusetts. And I wish I remembered the name of it. It was in East Cambridge. And this guy, he had been there for so many years. He loved the craft of framing. And when I brought my daughter in, he said, pick any frame you want. And he charged us like $20. And this was
That's cool.
This was a prestigious frame. I think it's called Cambridge Art and Frame. Unbelievable. He was so kind and so encouraging that she was doing art, and she went around, she picked her favorite frame, and so that's still hanging in our kitchen. You know that little flower
that's so
picture?
cool, yeah.
That's Charlie who
That's
did that.
awesome.
You know, and we want to encourage art with our kids because it's better than being on a screen, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Hello.
Well, that sounds like real art. What this kid's doing is not art.
Well, listen, it's not a popular take to go against a 2-year-old's art, but Heather has decided this is something she wants to stand on.
Yeah, I don't usually make fun of children, but I will to prove a point, of course.
Okay, so you want to
Yeah.
prove a point. You're not making fun of anyone.
Yeah.
And you know that you like that he's...
Yeah, no, I like children. He's cool. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, totally. Pint-sized Picasso. Listen,
Cool
if
kid.
I could afford one of his $7,000 paintings, I would totally get that. And it'd be an inspiration to my kids. They'd have some catching up to do.
That's right.
Right? You know, my youngest is 4. I was like, come on, pick up the paintbrush.
Get going,
Good.
kid.
Look at pint size. He's doing great. So you claim that you could make a better piece of abstract art.
Or at least close to what he did for sure. Yeah.
Okay, so you went, and I wasn't expecting you to do this, but you went home.
Yep.
Actually, you stopped at the art store first and bought painting supplies.
I did. I actually went to the dollar store.
I mean, this is someone who really wants to prove a point,
Yeah.
clearly. And you decided to paint your own picture. Now you're about to unveil it. We haven't seen this. And by the way, this is a reason to follow us because we will post this on our Instagram very soon. You can find this at TJ Podcast in our stories. It's going to be up there. If you would, let me get some music because I think this deserves some sort of an introduction.
I agree. Or maybe a drum roll if anyone.
And now, the TJ Show Art Gallery. We will unveil producer Heather's wonderful abstract painting that she did yesterday to, quote, prove a point. Let me see. A lot of art does prove a point. Huh.
I can't
Wow.
see that. Let me see.
Come on. It's pretty good.
There's still some white canvas.
Yeah,
that I can see.
That was a choice.
Oh, that was a choice you made?
It was an artistic
Oh, is
choice.
that how art
Jay-Bo?
works?
Yeah. Oh wait. Sorry. You know what? You guys aren't seeing it. It's upside down.
No.
There you go. There it is. Yeah. That's.
No, you had it the
Literally
right side
just
up.
paint splattered everywhere.
No,
What? Yeah. What do you think that 2-year-old was doing?
You know what? I actually like this.
I do too.
Yeah,
See?
the background is dark colors like dark orange and browns and greens, and then the layer on top of that, it's like some purples, some little bit of lavenders. You mix some white with the purple, then you like threw in some hot pink and some splattered some like orange and yellow paint on top of that. I like that.
You know,
good, right?
good job, Heather. Your
you.
whole. I actually liked it when you first presented it.
Oh, okay. So you like it this way.
Yeah,
Okay. well,
hold it
give
that
me-
way because it almost looks like outer space to me. Like it's some different, what do they call that? Solar system. It's a different
Yeah.
solar system.
Yeah.
How much you want for it? I'll buy it from you.
Oh well, if that kid's is going for 7,000,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go at least 10. You got $10,000.
All right, how about I'll give you $5 right now. That's a full sandwich.
10,000.
Do you want to sell it to me?
You know what? Yeah, I'll take it.
All right,
For $5,
good
I'll
deal.
take it. I'll take it.
Know your
Yep,
word.
I'll
There you
take
go.
it.
Thank you.
Yep,
well,
yep.
go ahead, bid on it. Wait, hold on. Wait, we're in the middle of a bidding
Oh,
war over
sorry.
your art.
Okay,
Go
yeah.
ahead, J-Bo.
I
Place a
didn't say
bid.
I was going to bid on it. I just said she should know her worth and at least ask for $10.
Anyone else want to bid on it? Yeah, Kenny, go ahead.
$10, please.
Really? You're going to buy it for 10?
Josh, do I hear 20?
Hold on. And this is for real. You got to pay up.
No, I don't want that thing. You all are crazy. It doesn't look like anything.
10,
But
huh?
is it better than the 2-year-olds?
I'll pay 11
It's
for
right
it.
up there.
I'll pay 11.
11.
Yeah, come on.
Kenny's
not
12?
going. He's not going 12.
$13.33.
No way!
Oh, 1333
All right, you can have it.
for 1333.
You know, Kenny has a winning problem. He has to win at everything. And so I figured it'd be a quick way to make Heather a few bucks.
Yeah.
Enjoy your painting, Kenny.
Make sure you Venmo that over to her.
I think we just conned Kenny. No, but I would have paid $5 for it. It was really good.
It is nice. Yeah.
This is
sure.
the TJ Show. We got some artists around here. See it for yourself at TJ Podcast. I do think it's nice. You know, it's so funny. We were out at our favorite cafe grabbing a bite to eat, and a song came on, and I winced. Yeah, it was Better Together by Jack Johnson.
Okay, yeah.
Things are better when we're together.
Yeah, it's a good song.
And I was like, I can't listen to this song. And I was asked for an explanation, and I said, well, it's weird. And what was your guess?
Well, I thought it's because some girl broke your heart because TJ's been known to not have the best track record when it comes to the ladies.
That is true in some way.
Yeah, sorry.
But no, it's not the reason why I can't listen to that song anymore. The reason why is because at one point I had to get some teeth extracted many years ago. And wisdom teeth.
Oh, yeah, been there.
And, you know, they suggest, well, make a playlist so you can relax and listen to music. Well, I stupidly put one of my favorite songs on the playlist at the time, Better When We're Together. And now every time I hear that song, I wince. And now my teeth hurt just talking about it.
I'm so sorry. That's the worst.
But these songs, I don't know what it is about music, but it like takes us back to where we were listening. And there's another song I can't really listen to anymore.
What is that?
It's Enter Sandman by Metallica.
What is that?
Anytime it comes on the radio, I got to turn it off.
Say your prayers
I know. Please stop. You're freaking me out. I don't want to hear it anymore. No, the reason why is because when I was in high school, I was blasting that song. It was playing on the radio.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, man, this is really cool. And I turned it way up. And I decided to pass a cop who was in his car. And the problem was, it was an assumed 2 lanes, but technically there was only 1 lane. So everyone in the town made this area 2 lanes, but there wasn't actual like paint on the street saying it was 2 lanes. But it was a neighborhood thing. Well, this guy turns his lights on and pulls me over. And I go, everyone does 2 lanes. He goes, it's only 1 lane. I know, but everyone in this town does 2. And I start arguing with the cop.
You don't care.
And he goes, sorry. So he gives me a ticket. I wind up going to the court to say, no, this is 2 lane. They give me the ticket anyway. The thing cost me $500, this ticket, because I got marked for improper passing. That song was on? Yeah! No! Don't want to hear it anymore.
Well, it's kind of like if someone gets in a car accident and they're listening to one of their favorite songs, you can't go back and listen to that song.
You can't
You're
undo
just
it.
traumatized by that, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm sorry if we're playing a song that is making you feel all kinds of things.
Yeah, like a few, last month actually, I didn't mention this, but I had gotten into a small fender bender, trying to avoid a fender bender. And I, for the longest, did not want to go back to that particular shopping plaza because I was just like, nope, I don't want to deal with it. But I went back because I was like, no, I will face my fears.
Good for you. Yeah, and for shopping, of course. You got a shoe collection to maintain.
That's right.
Yes, Kenny.
Well, for many, many years, I couldn't listen to the band Incubus because
Why?
I went to a concert when I was 19 years old, and I was arrested by an undercover cop for underage drinking in the parking lot.
Really? Yeah. That's right. You shared that story. I didn't know that was an Incubus concert.
Yeah, and I didn't listen probably 15, 20 years, but I'm back on board.
Oh, you are? Good.
Hold the wheel and drive.
Because now you're legal enough to drink.
Yeah,
And
I don't have to worry about that anymore.
he takes advantage of the law.
Yeah, he does.
He sure does. Is there a song that you can't listen to anymore? I'm curious. I'd love to know what it is. Here's our phone number. This is a great excuse for you to pick up the phone, get involved with the show. Our number is 302-303-1151. And what a great time to call. Listen, it's the summertime. You can get through a lot faster than you'd think. 302-303-1151. One of our favorite things is when you join in on the show. We can't wait to hear from you. I'm seeing this headline pop up all over the place. The Juro spider invading America. A parachuting spider. That's huge. And so the most nervous person that I know is my mom. I wanted to make sure that she had heard the news because she wants to be nervous and worried about everything. So how could I miss this opportunity? She has to see this stuff.
You're such a good son.
Hello?
Hey, Mom.
What's going on?
What are you doing about this Juro spider thing?
The what?
The Juro spider?
What is that?
You haven't read about this?
No.
There's this spider that's now in America. It's the size of the palm of your hand.
Are you kidding?
I'm going to send you the article right now. Hold on.
Oh. What else are you going to tell me now?
Well, I wanted to know what you're doing about it, but then I want to know what to do.
I didn't know anything about it, but do I really need to know about it? Excuse me. Somebody, I bet you let it go for... Ew. That's gross.
Yeah, she's got the picture right there. It's the size of the palm of your hand.
That's disgusting.
It's expected to go all the way up to Boston.
Where did this come from all of a sudden?
I have no idea.
I think it's the end of the world. It's like weird stuff all the time. So when are they coming?
Well, first of all, they're already here, south.
I guess I was thinking like maybe I should retire or whatever and take walks. Now you can't even take a walk.
It's unbelievable.
You gotta worry about a spider coming out and parachuting on your head.
It says, how did they get into the U.S. to begin with? Not exactly clear. They don't know for
probably
sure.
I'll tell you how, some jack probably had it as a pet, or they brought it over from over there and then they spread this stuff. I can't stand bugs as it is, and I gotta worry about that kind of bug. Gross.
And now my mom knows.
Your poor mama. Now, those spiders are native to Asia, and they've been introduced to North Georgia back in 2010, so it's making its way up north.
Here's something that will make you feel better about this. I made that phone call 2 years ago. This was a headline then, too. Look, we're all still here, and it seems like everything's going to be okay. And, the news likes to take these things that seem really scary and make a huge deal out of it. My mom's okay, too, by the way.
I'm still not going outside.
No, go outside.
No.
Come on. Touch the grass with me, J-Bo. I want you to realize this has been in the news for a long time. And have you noticed how many times these headlines make it sound like, it's like, oh, this is terrible
These
news.
things are massive.
They're parachuting from the sky. Have you ever seen one?
They're like the size of a baby sweet potato.
Have you ever come face to face with one of them?
No, because I don't live in Georgia.
Okay, fine. But they have been coming up north now for all these years.
No, until recently, for the longest, I lived in the Midwest.
Yeah. Okay, Kenny. Yeah.
You can't even take a walk anymore.
That's true.
Sure can't.
Well, that's always been true for my mom. She hates taking walks. Although I've convinced her that she can walk on pavement. So she will go if there's a track or there's a pond, as long as it's pavement, she doesn't have to walk on grass and face bugs, then she's fine.
One thing I did see, although these spiders are venomous, they do not pose a threat to humans.
There you go.
According to experts.
Now, if they'd be nice to include that in the headlines.
No, that's all the way down at the bottom
that
of the
would
article.
be very
That's the
helpful.
very last sentence in the article, actually.
Yep, this is the TJ Show. This edition of the TJ Show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Yeah, the year is going by quite quickly.
Bro, I blinked and it's gone.
Halfway there. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's hard to take inventory on how we're doing.
Yeah.
And I think one of the ways to truly assess our progress is by talking to someone else about it. Therapists have made me realize, actually, maybe I'm further along than I think, because our mind can play tricks on us.
That's right.
And we've got to talk through this kind of a thing. Whether you're celebrating big wins, small wins, whatever it is, knowing that you're winning or if you're not, how to change that is so valuable.
A win is a win, and therapy is a win.
I agree with you. If you've ever considered it, go to betterhelp.com/TJ. That's betterhelp.com/TJ. You fill out the questionnaire, you get linked up with a licensed therapist. If for some reason it's not a fit, you can switch therapists anytime, no additional fee. Take a moment, visit betterhelp.com/TJ today to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp, HELP.com/TJ. betterhelp.com/TJ.
What's good, everybody? It's Gerard Hector, the host and executive producer of the True Hoop Podcast. You guys can catch me and the godfather of basketball player development, Coach David Thorpe, every Monday and Thursday talking all things NBA.
It starts with Shea. Jalen Williamson, terrific. And a great coach. It starts with Shea. He's carrying a team. He's Michael Jordan right now.
Search for the True Hoop Podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Rate, review, subscribe. Catch us every Monday and Thursday. Take care.
This is the TJ Show, our news. It sounds different around here. Kenny reads through every story he can find, and then he brings us the most interesting ones. Kenny, what's happening on the planet today?
It appears Simon Cowell is ready to get back into the boy band business, some 15 years after helping to form the band One Direction, who appeared on the UK version of X Factor. It's being reported that Cowell is searching for future megastars who are ready to put in the work to achieve international fame. He announced this new project yesterday and unveiled billboards across London which read, "Simon needs you. Future megastars wanted for new boy band. No time wasters."
You think Kenny would qualify for that boy band, or is he not a boy anymore?
Well, are they talking age or mental?
Mental. He is a boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'll apply.
You could do it. You imagine if he becomes some big boy band star?
Pretty good dancer, too.
Yeah.
Oh,
look at that.
let's go, Kenny.
Yeah. Simon's got a talent. He's had many successes,
Yes.
and it's interesting.
And what's interesting, with One Direction at least, they all, I believe, appeared individually on the show X Factor,
Yeah.
and it was Simon's idea to put them together, and they became a huge deal.
And look, separately, a lot of them are doing so well still.
Now, Simon did fumble the ball when it came to Tori Kelly, though. Do you remember what he told her? That
No.
she wasn't good enough?
Seriously?
Yeah, that she needed some work. Mind you, Tori Kelly is phenomenal.
Oh my goodness, Tori, I think, is one of the best singers ever. I mean,
Amazing
who knows?
vocalist.
Maybe at that time, she had
Nonsense! Don't you speak of her like that?
I don't know. I don't remember that, actually. I don't even think of her as like an Idol contestant,
Right.
because to me, I think she's one of the best singers we have today. She's so good.
Yeah, she's super talented.
I'm surprised to hear that.
Yeah, he said the reason for this search was because there hasn't been an impactful boy band since One Direction, and went on to say the industry tends to focus on solo artists, so it usually takes someone from the outside to put a group together. Nothing beats the fun of being in a group, touring the world, and performing for thousands, he said.
Very cool. Kenny, what else you have?
Yesterday, we reported on the likelihood that San Diego Padres infielder Tucupita Mercado would receive a lifetime ban after allegations that he bet on Pittsburgh Pirates games when he was with that team last year. Well, it's official now. The MLB has banned Mercado for life after he placed 387 baseball bets totaling more than $150,000 in October of 2022.
He literally receives more than that in salary. It's like, why jeopardize your future and the people you're taking care of, your family, just to gamble for $150,000?
I don't understand it. The only thing I could imagine is that, is it an addiction, right? I mean, my dad,
That's true.
He was a compulsive gambler for many years. He tells me stories about how he'd work so hard all week and then bet his paycheck and lose it.
Man.
And I grew up hearing stories like that, and it's made me pretty much stay away from gambling.
Yeah.
If I'm at a casino, I'll throw something down on a blackjack hand maybe, but I stay a million miles away from it because it starts as this innocent thing, and then you slowly, like a lot of addictions, it starts like, let me sip on the alcohol, and then look what it turns into 4 or 5 years later.
Well, I appreciate you having grace, because I was not having grace. I'm just irritated because I can only imagine like the future and the plans he had for himself and his family, and now it's ruined because of that. So.
Yeah, and also sometimes this stuff finds gamblers in ways that addiction sometimes finds people, like where they almost had no shot. And an example of that is, my dad has shared this story actually. When he was in high school, he had a teacher that was taking bets from the kids. The teacher was acting as a bookie and I think also a drug dealer, and that was the environment he was put in.
That's so frustrating.
And so
somebody's meant to protect him is actually causing him harm.
Yeah, and that bothers me that my dad was sort of thrown into that in the school system that he was in. And it's like, who knows what this guy's story is?
True.
We have no idea.
Marcano is now the first active player in more than a century to be banned for life because of gambling. The last time it happened was with the New York Giants outfielder Jimmy O'Connell back in 1924. Of course, Pete Rose was banned from baseball in 1989, but he was the manager of the Cincinnati Reds, and he was found guilty of betting on Cincinnati Reds games.
Kenny, what else do you have?
I have more sports betting, gambling / lifetime ban news. Of course, we reported on Jonte Porter, who played for the Raptors, receiving a lifetime ban from the NBA for a betting scandal back in April. Now we've learned that one of his co-conspirators, a guy named Long Phi Pham, also known as Bruce, was arrested trying to board a flight at JFK International Airport in New York to Australia with a one-way ticket.
Ooh.
Yeah,
the team is going down.
He was accused of helping Porter by placing bets while Porter manipulated the result because of his position on the team.
Wow.
We're learning that Porter allegedly told Pham that he was going to take himself out early from a game on January 26th against the Clippers, claiming he was injured. So then they were able to place what they call prop bets, that he would get less rebounds. Of course, it was a sure thing because the guy hardly played in the game.
Wow.
Pham and others allegedly agreed to share profits from their winnings with Porter before they placed these bets at a casino in Atlantic City.
Kenny, what else do you have?
After years of slowly gaining market share, Dr. Pepper has officially passed Pepsi as the number 2 soda brand in the country as of 2023 market share results.
Look at the doctor.
Hey, Coca-Cola better watch out. The doctor's after Coca-Cola.
Yeah, seriously.
Coming for that number 1 spot.
He's making the long play.
That's right.
Because he's smart.
Oh, and the long play is right, because Dr. Pepper is actually an older soda brand than Pepsi and Coca-Cola.
I
it
didn't
was
know
out
that.
first. It was originally designed by a pharmacist, and it was marketed to help ease digestion and give you vim, vigor, and other things as well. But yeah, they've been growing quite a bit, and they are now number 2 ahead of Pepsi.
Slow and steady. Might win the race.
Oh, yeah. Is it a Pepsi company?
No. As a matter of fact, Dr. Pepper is owned by the Keurig Dr. Pepper Company.
Oh, how about that? Look at that.
Nice.
Keurig. Kenny, what else do you have?
There's some new research out of China that has found facial thermal imaging combined with artificial intelligence can correctly detect coronary artery disease better than traditional methods.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the port that I could plug in, and I just connect my phone to myself, and it tells me, all right, here's everything you got to deal with.
It's like when you get your car inspected.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
Instead of doing like a genetic test, just plug in your phone and it tells you everything that you have to look forward to as you age.
Yeah, you're right. And also, yes, Kenny, the car situation.
Yeah.
I had an issue with a car, and I bring it in, they plug it in, they tell me what's wrong with it. Look at that. That's great. Thank you.
Now, the researchers do say that more testing does need to be done on a more broad level before they can actually adopt this into clinical practice, but it's very promising because the results with this new method were 13% more effective than the previous diagnostic tools that were being used.
Yeah, the technology is keeping us alive longer because it wants us to see it take over the world.
Is that what they want?
I think it's something like that. We're trying to figure that out. Kenny, what else do you have?
Facebook appears to be making a concerted effort to win over Gen Z.
Well, after they essentially punched him on the playground, seemingly hurt a generation and many people, now they want to make it nice.
Well, I guess Facebook has kind of been taken over by older populations. So they want to have Facebook be relevant now and for the next 20 years. In fact, they even held an event in New York last week for younger creators, highlighting the company's new plan and giving out a pamphlet saying, "We are not your mom's Facebook."
You want to save a lot of money on conferences and hiring big speakers and overthinking it? Add value to their lives and stop hurting them, and then everything turns around.
Well, Facebook done messed up when they handed out a pamphlet to let Gen Z know that they're cool again. And also, they've already exposed the rest of us with data and leaking that stuff out. They need more data. They need to make more money off of people.
Yeah, well, I think people are realizing that maybe social media is not the best thing for us. And so droves of people are turning away, and it's not assumed that they're just going to have an account. So, yeah, they've got to do some work, and it starts with benefiting the person using your service. We're watching the social media wars as they all unfold in front of us, and we'll see where it goes. Kenny, thank you for keeping us somewhat informed.
That's what's happening.
The other day, we heard a story about a dog that got lost in these mountains. And in the story, they said it was like finding a needle in a haystack.
Right.
And they had all this technology, and someone actually found the dog. They said it was a miracle. And during that conversation, I just randomly mentioned it in an aside. I was like, how long would it take to find a needle in a haystack? And I think Kenny said he was going to go out and ask people. And then you did all this research on it, and you actually did that.
Yeah, I went down a wormhole.
Wait, see, this is what the internet does. I didn't expect you to actually go out and interview people on the street about it.
Yeah, I did that. I researched on the internet for hours. I found out that there was a performance artist from Europe who actually attempted this. It took him 2 12-hour days.
To find a needle?
To find a needle in a haystack.
In a haystack?
Yeah.
Well, I guess it depends on how big the haystack is.
2 12-hour days?
Yeah.
Some people can't get anything accomplished in 2 12-hour days. That's very impressive.
Well, doesn't sound like he did either. Not very much, at least. He found a needle in a haystack.
He found a needle in a haystack. It's pretty impressive, though.
Then I also thought, like, why would anybody search for a needle in a haystack in the first place? Like, what would have to be on the table in order for someone to actually attempt to do that?
Yeah, we say these phrases, and we don't think about where they came from. My guess on it has to be, like, back in the day, in a barn, someone would be sewing something, and they'd drop their needle. Where's my needle go?
It's in the haystack.
I hate when I drop it in a haystack.
Yeah.
No metal detectors.
Yeah.
I bet now you could probably find a little easier with some gear.
Well, there was a Marvel movie where Iron Man said he would use a magnet to find a needle in a haystack, and that's genius.
That's some modern day wisdom right there. So here is Kenny asking a question that we really don't think about very much, but since it came up, why not?
How long do you think it would take you to find a needle in a haystack? Like, literally, if there was a needle in a haystack?
No clue. Like, actually no clue. It also depends how much hay, I guess.
Yeah. Let's say it's like 10 feet by 10 feet.
I might recruit like a friend or something.
That's not allowed. You have to do it all by yourself.
I honestly don't know.
I mean, I would think at this point she just wants to get out of this conversation.
Right. She's like, I don't care.
Kind of like I do. Like, I wasn't expecting it to go any further than my aside the other day.
I guess maybe for $1 million.
For $1 million? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, see, everybody's got their price.
All right, well, there you go.
How long do you think it would take you to find a needle in a haystack, literally?
How big is the haystack and how small is the needle? I mean, like, what are we talking?
We're all asking the same philosophical questions.
All right, I didn't think about that.
Like, there's only so deep this discussion can go.
Let's say it's like a 10-foot by 10-foot haystack.
Probably
and
a long
it's a
time.
Sewing needle.
Yeah, probably a long time. I have terrible vision. I can't pick things out with my eyes.
What would have to be on the table in order for you to actually attempt to do that?
I don't know. Money.
How much?
Like $100.
$100?
Yeah, I'm pretty down bad. I have no money.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's, I think, pretty cheap.
Yeah.
There was a guy I read about that it took him 2 12-hour days to actually find the needle in the haystack.
Yeah. I mean, maybe a little more money then if that's what we're talking about.
A little bit more than $100.
Yeah.
Maybe $100 a day?
Sure.
Okay, cool.
This guy has to be shocked that he's been talking about this for this long.
For real, if you're down bad, $100, bro, raise your stakes. You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
All right, well, if I ever organize this, I'll let you know.
Awesome. Yeah.
You'd never see him again.
Nope.
What would have to be on the table for you to actually attempt to find a needle on a haystack?
I guess if it took like 24 hours of my time, $500, I guess.
Wow, there's a lot of people willing to work for a little bit of money.
Yeah, I would ask for $500,000, but I would accept $300,000.
Yeah, that's very nice of you.
Yeah.
That's generous.
I'd say around there. Nothing crazy.
It's a pretty good deal. We'll be in touch.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good.
So there's all kinds of philosophical discussions going on in our world right now. And there you go. There's one more to add to the mix. It's one that most people can join in on and then scratch their head and wonder, why did I join in on that?
Yeah.
A few moments ago on the radio, we were playing a song that Kenny sang for Wednesday. I like these Day of the Week songs. Why don't big artists do Day of the Week songs? I'm waiting for a Taylor Swift Thursday. Oh no, there was that one
Rebecca Black Friday.
Yeah. But everyone made fun of that. They should be taken more seriously.
Seriously.
No, but I was saying that I think Kenny's really talented as a singer. He's got raw talent. You should be refining it rather than watching Jeopardy every night. And I mentioned, just because it was the first name that came to mind, I said, hey, if my music teacher, Mrs. Donovan, is out there. I mean, this was my music teacher, I think, in first or second grade. And I still remember her because she had such an impact on me.
That's awesome.
And then I just found out, Jabo, you had a Mrs. Donovan as a teacher too?
Yeah, she was my 10th grade English teacher.
Oh, I was going to say, is it the same lady? Because I don't know what happened to her.
Unless she switched it up. She's like, forget music. I'm going to go teach English. But yeah, she was something else. She was very soft-spoken, but she surprised the class one time. The soft-spoken ones are the ones that have a little bit of spice to them. You just don't know it yet.
Yep.
And a student said something that was probably inappropriate. And Mrs. Donovan looked at the student and she responded to his smart buttness, and she said, put that in your pipe and smoke it. And the entire class was like, what? And we were just like busting out laughing. Everybody was like, ooh, snap.
Yeah.
You got burned by Mrs. Donovan.
Man, I haven't heard one of those in a long time.
Yeah.
We should do that right now. All right, somebody say something nasty. Go ahead, Kenny. You be the teacher. Actually, Josh was a teacher in the school system for many years. Mm-hmm. Did you have any moments where the whole room erupted?
Oh, yeah. You've got to be careful as a teacher because any little roast turns into a huge deal. And you've got an audience of 30 right in front of you ready to back you up. It's dangerous.
Okay, so give me an example of one ooh you got where you felt really good about it.
Yeah, well, sometimes like a kid would come back to me arguing their grade on a math test and they added up the questions wrong, like the percentages wrong. I'm like, well, there you go. That explains your D in math.
Josh,
That's a bird.
Wait, let's do Mr. Josh. Mr. Josh. Did you actually say that in front of the whole classroom?
Yeah, well, I might have said it a little too loud. And that's how you know, because 30 other kids, and I'm sure that kid's scarred now and hates math, but hey, I do what I can.
Listen, you got calculators. Do you really need
But you know what? Now he's making a C+ in math. He's working his way up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome. But you liked it. You liked the feeling.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Embarrassment is the best teacher, man. That's how you're going to learn.
It works.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I feel like you can't get away with that now. Because, does that get back to the parents?
Yeah, I mean, parents loved me, so I got away with a little bit.
So some parents still like when their kids are sort of like...
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Hey, hope for the planet, everyone.
Man, let me tell you, some parents are burning their kids every day, dissing them left and right.
Oh, man, that's funny.
Yeah,
well, I guess you can go overboard with that.
Yeah,
but
you could.
That's... I'm trying to think...
balance.
So I was telling you a story yesterday. My daughter, Charlie, she started playing with a poisonous plant, even though I've told her, don't touch any plant that you don't recognize.
Right.
And she said something to me, and I probably shouldn't have done this, but I was like, what are you going to do? You're going to play with a pokeweed plant after? And she was like, ding, ding.
And she's walking around with a swollen face. That poor baby.
No, she's
don't
fine
do it like
now.
that.
You know what? Steroids are beautiful.
They are.
They
when
work.
used appropriately?
When used right. And, not being used to jack up a sporting event.
Right.
I'm very grateful for today's medicine. So I'm very thankful for that.